Stop right there. Before you scroll away, let me rip off the mask and tell you the brutal truth. The more you try to be liked, the more invisible you become. Think about it. The person who always says yes isn't admired, they're used. The friend who always gives isn't respected, they're drained. The worker who bends over backwards isn't promoted, they're overlooked. Society told you that being nice guarantees loyalty, that being agreeable earns you protection. But Robert Greene warned us in the 48 Laws of Power. The world does not reward the liked, it rewards the respected. And here's the dark reality. Kindness without boundaries destroys value. Predictability kills attraction. And chasing approval? It erases respect faster than failure ever could. But this video is your turning point. Because if you watch until the end, you'll learn the 10 modern power laws that flip the script. You'll see how to set boundaries without guilt, how to use silence as a weapon, how to trade being liked for being respected, so you gain influence, attraction, and success faster, with less effort. This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming untouchable. Say this out loud with me right now. I choose respect over being liked. 1. Fear protects, kindness exposes. Stop right there. Let me tell you the brutal truth no one dares to say. Fear protects, kindness exposes. The more you rely on kindness to keep you safe, the more vulnerable you become. The moment people stop fearing consequences, they stop respecting you. Look around your life. You'll see this everywhere. The office nice guy who always says yes. He becomes the unofficial dumping ground for work. Others go home early, he stays late. Does he get promoted? No, he gets drained. The friend who always pays for dinner. At first people smile, but soon they expect it. His generosity becomes invisible. He's not respected. He's exploited. The partner who forgives every betrayal. What happens? The betrayal repeats. Because there's no fear of losing them. The social media creator who replies to every comment with endless kindness. They're liked, but not respected. Their kindness invites trolls and freeloaders. We've been told, be good, and good things happen to you. That's the biggest lie. Because in reality, the world doesn't reward kindness without boundaries. It punishes it, it uses it, it drains it. Robert Greene made it clear in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 17, keep others in suspended terror. A little fear keeps respect alive. Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. True power comes from knowing weaknesses, not exposing your own. Law 4, always say less than necessary. Silence is power. Talk too much, and you invite exploitation. Here's the dark reality. Fear sets boundaries people don't dare cross. Kindness without limits erases those boundaries completely. Machiavelli wrote, "It is safer to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But in today's world, people cling to love, to likes, to approval, and wonder why they feel invisible. History. Julius Caesar was merciful. He forgave his enemies. Result? He was stabbed 23 times by the very men he spared. Stalin ruled by fear. People despised him, but no one dared cross him. His grip on power lasted decades. Alexander the Great mixed respect with fear. His soldiers adored him, but his enemies feared his ruthlessness. That combination built an empire. Business. Steve Jobs wasn't liked. He was feared for his brutal standards. But fear pushed his teams to create the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Netflix fired executives who betrayed its trust immediately. Swift. Cold moves sent a message. Betrayal has consequences. CEOs who try to be everyone's friend lose authority. The ones who enforce fear-driven respect build lasting companies. Daily life. The teacher who tries to be liked by students faces chaos. The teacher who sets strict boundaries commands silence and results. The parent who fears being disliked raises entitled children. The parent who enforces discipline, even if it sparks resentment, raises adults who succeed. The neighbor who tolerates disrespect gets trampled. The one who confronts it directly gets respect. Relationships. The partner who always forgives cheating becomes a repeat victim. The partner who sets boundaries, betray me once and you're gone, commands loyalty, even if they're feared. Social media. The creator who tries to please everyone gets ignored. The one who draws boundaries, blocks trolls, and demands respect, commands authority. People don't just like them, they follow them. Here's how to use fear strategically and stop exposing yourself with blind kindness. Say no firmly, without apology. A boundary respected is power gained. Limit access. Don't be available 24/7. Scarcity builds respect. Stop over-explaining. One sentence of refusal is enough. Silence after that creates weight. Set consequences. If someone disrespects you, act. Withdraw support, remove access, or cut them off. Reward loyalty, not neediness. Kindness should be earned, not free. Use unpredictability. Keep people slightly uncertain. Fear grows in the unknown. Protect your image. Never show all your weaknesses. Some should remain hidden. Speak less, act more. Too many words make you predictable. Actions inspire respect. Withhold favors. Don't give freely. Let people value your generosity by making it rare. Maintain emotional control. Anger without control is weakness. Cold responses create fear. Cut exploitation fast. The moment you feel used, confront or withdraw. Don't wait. Save kindness for strategy. Use it like a weapon, rarely, surgically, where it builds loyalty. When you stop believing kindness protects and start using fear strategically. At work, people stop piling tasks on you. They pause before asking, because they know you have boundaries. Suddenly, your time has value. Promotions come because respect, not pity, elevates you. In friendships, you're no longer the doormat. You become the respected one, the anchor, the leader. People adjust to you, not the other way around. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. You command loyalty because your boundaries are crystal clear. Your partner knows, love without respect is nothing. On social media, you stop being a people pleaser lost in the noise. You build authority because you set the tone. You're not chasing likes, you're commanding attention. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained, invisible, and used. You start feeling powerful, magnetic, untouchable. Because you know this, being liked is optional. Being respected is essential. Fear protects. Kindness without limits exposes. And the moment you shift, you stop being prey and start being a predator of your own destiny. Say this right now: I choose respect over blind kindness. Type it in the comments, whisper it daily, because the day you stop chasing likes and start commanding respect is the day you stop being used and start being powerful. 2. Stop seeking approval. Respect is currency. Stop right there. Do you believe that being liked gives you power? Do you think chasing approval makes you safe, admired, or successful? Here's the brutal truth. Approval is worthless. Respect is currency. The more you chase approval, the cheaper you become. The more you demand respect, the more valuable you become. Look closely at your life. The employee who always agrees with the boss to be liked, he's invisible. The one who dares to hold his own line is promoted. The friend who bends every plan just to keep everyone happy, nobody takes them seriously. The partner who avoids conflict because they want to stay liked, they lose attraction and eventually the relationship. The content creator who panders to the crowd for likes, they fade. The one who commands attention builds an empire. Chasing approval feels safe, but approval doesn't buy you influence. It robs you of it. The harsh reality? The more you seek to be liked, the more disposable you become. Robert Greene was ruthless about this in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 20, do not commit to anyone. The moment you seek approval, you chain yourself to their expectations. Law 46, never appear too perfect. If you beg to be liked, you invite envy and mockery, not respect. Law 34, be royal in your own fashion. Those who act like kings don't ask for approval, they receive respect naturally. The world is full of approval junkies, people desperate to be liked. But power doesn't belong to them. It belongs to those who don't chase approval, but command respect. History. Abraham Lincoln wasn't universally liked, he was hated by many. But he was respected, and that respect gave him the power to hold a divided nation together. Winston Churchill was blunt, abrasive, and often disliked, but his respect commanded Britain through World War II. Leaders who sought to be liked, weak kings, indulgent rulers, are forgotten or mocked in history books. Business. Elon Musk doesn't care about being liked. He gets mocked constantly, but respect for his boldness keeps him the center of power. Jeff Bezos wasn't loved, he was feared for his relentless standards. Yet Amazon reshaped the entire global economy. CEOs who pander to popularity disappear. The ones who stand firm, even if hated, command markets. Daily life. The student who tries to be liked by everyone wastes time. The one who sets standards and refuses nonsense earns real respect. The neighbor who always tries to please everyone gets ignored. The one who draws lines gets acknowledged. The colleague who constantly seeks validation becomes the yes man. Nobody respects them. Relationships. The partner who fears losing approval, who never says no, kills attraction. The partner who sets standards, who demands respect over approval, keeps desire alive. Social media. The influencer who panders to trends gets temporary likes. The one who sets trends commands respect and stays relevant. Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, Kanye West. Liked by some, hated by many, but all respected for their unapologetic stance. That respect gives them staying power. Here's how to stop chasing approval and start demanding respect. Pause before you agree. If your yes is automatic, you're begging for approval. Say no without explanation. Boundaries build respect instantly. Stop apologizing unnecessarily. Apology addiction is approval seeking. Withhold your presence. Don't attend every event just to be liked. Scarcity commands value. Speak less. The less you talk, the more weight your words carry. Share your opinion calmly. Don't match the crowd. State your view firmly. Stop chasing likes on social media. Create for impact, not approval. Control your emotions. Needing approval is emotional weakness. Cold control earns respect. Respect yourself first. Self-respect signals others how to treat you. Reject fake flattery. People who flatter you for approval often use you. Never beg for attention. If people don't notice, let silence build curiosity. Reward respect, not approval. Show loyalty to those who honor you, not those who simply like you. When you stop chasing approval and start commanding respect. At work, you stop being the invisible yes man. You start being seen as a leader with standards, someone others follow naturally. In business, you stop bending to customer whims that kill your vision. You build authority because people respect those who lead, not those who follow. In friendships, you stop being the pushover. You become the pillar, the one people adjust to, not the one adjusting. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. Respect replaces approval, and desire grows stronger. On social media, you stop fading as a pleaser. You rise as an authority, even polarizing but powerful. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained and invisible. You feel strong, independent, and magnetic. You no longer need likes, you command respect. Approval is cheap, respect is currency. And once you choose respect, your power multiplies. Say this right now: I trade approval for respect. Type it in the comments, whisper it daily, because the day you stop chasing approval is the day you start becoming powerful. 3. Predictability is death, mystery commands power. Stop right there. Do you think people respect what they can fully predict? Do you think being consistent in every move makes you trustworthy and powerful? Here's the brutal truth. Predictability is death. The more people can predict you, the less they value you. The moment they know your next move, they stop respecting you. Mystery, not predictability, commands power. Think about it. At work, the colleague who is always available, always saying yes, always predictable, becomes the office doormat. Everyone uses them, nobody respects them. In friendships, the one who's always texting first, always showing up, always giving without surprise, fades into the background. In relationships, the partner who's predictable in every word and action loses attraction fast. Predictability kills desire. On social media, the creator who copies trends endlessly becomes invisible. The one who surprises, who breaks patterns, explodes overnight. Predictability feels safe, but safety doesn't inspire respect. It breeds boredom. Robert Greene was ruthless about this in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Attention goes to the unpredictable, not the predictable. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Power comes from unpredictability, from making others second-guess your next move. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Kings and leaders project mystery, that mystery becomes their shield. Here's the dark reality. Predictability makes you disposable. Mystery makes you magnetic. The world doesn't admire the predictable. It worships the mysterious. History. Napoleon shocked his enemies by moving armies faster than anyone thought possible. His unpredictability won battles before they began. Genghis Khan used false retreats and surprise attacks, keeping enemies terrified and disoriented. Queen Elizabeth I never revealed if she would marry. That mystery kept rivals off balance and her throne secure. Business. Apple doesn't just release products, they cloak them in secrecy, then reveal them in shocking launches. Mystery fuels global obsession. Elon Musk tweets unpredictably, shaking entire industries. Love him or hate him, his mystery commands attention. Companies that play safe, predictable strategies fade into irrelevance. Daily life. The student who's always predictable becomes invisible. The one who surprises, with bold ideas or risks, gets noticed. The neighbor who breaks routine commands curiosity, even suspicion, which is a form of respect. Relationships. Predictable partners bore each other to death. Mystery. Small surprises, unpredictability, keeps attraction alive. Desire thrives on uncertainty. Social media. Predictable creators fade into the algorithm. The ones who shock, twist, disrupt, become viral sensations. Here's how to kill predictability and build mystery that commands respect. Stop oversharing. Don't broadcast every thought, plan, or feeling. Break routine occasionally. Change patterns so people never fully expect your moves. Master silence. Mystery lives in what you don't reveal. Give surprises strategically. A sudden gift, a shocking decision, used rarely, creates power. Control timing. Delay responses. Waiting builds tension. Avoid emotional predictability. Don't always react the same way. Keep people guessing. Guard your private life. The less they know, the more they wonder. Mix kindness with coldness. Unpredictable contrast builds respect. Use curiosity hooks. Give people just enough to keep them intrigued. Shift locations. Change environments. Create the sense you're always moving. Surprise with strength. Hide capabilities until the right moment. Then strike. Never explain too much. Explanations kill mystery. Leave things unsaid. When you stop being predictable and start commanding mystery. At work, you stop being the yes man. You become the colleague people watch carefully, respect deeply, and never underestimate. In business, you stop being another safe player. You become the disruptor, the one everyone watches, copies, and fears. In friendships, you stop being boringly reliable. You become the one others admire, wonder about, and follow. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. You become magnetic. Mystery fuels attraction, and attraction fuels loyalty. On social media, you stop fading into the background. You start standing out, because mystery makes algorithms irrelevant. People can't scroll past you. Inside yourself, you stop feeling invisible. You start feeling magnetic, powerful, untouchable, because mystery makes people respect what they can't predict. Predictability kills power. Mystery commands it. Say this right now: I choose mystery over predictability. Type it in the comments, whisper it daily, because the day you stop being predictable is the day you stop being ignored and start being powerful. 4. Boundaries build value. Endless giving destroys it. Stop right there. Do you believe that the more you give, the more people will value you? Do you think endless kindness makes you indispensable? Here's the brutal truth. Boundaries build value. Endless giving destroys it. The more you give without limits, the less people appreciate you. What's free is rarely respected. Look at the patterns in your own life. The friend who always picks up the tab. At first, they're thanked. Later, it's expected. Soon, nobody even notices. The colleague who always covers shifts, always takes on extra work. They don't get promoted, they get exploited. The partner who never says no, who gives love unconditionally even when disrespected. They don't get cherished, they get taken for granted. The parent who gives their kids everything without boundaries. The child doesn't grow grateful, they grow entitled. Generosity without boundaries doesn't build respect. It builds addiction and contempt. Robert Greene was merciless about this in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 16. use absence to increase respect and honor. Scarcity builds value. Law 13. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. People respect limits, not endless favors. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Spreading yourself too thin destroys your power. Here's the ruthless reality. Your kindness without boundaries becomes invisible. Your boundaries make your presence valuable. When you stop being endlessly available, people stop draining you and start respecting you. History. Queen Elizabeth I maintained mystery and distance. She was adored and respected because she gave her presence sparingly. Napoleon rewarded soldiers strategically, not endlessly. His selective generosity made loyalty unbreakable. Roman emperors who gave endlessly to the public went bankrupt and were assassinated. Those who balanced gifts with fear endured. Business. Apple doesn't give everything at once. They hold back features, releasing them slowly. Scarcity builds obsession. Luxury brands don't flood the market with endless products. Scarcity makes their goods priceless. Startups that give discounts endlessly collapse. Those that enforce value and boundaries survive. Daily life. The teacher who bends over backward for students gets chaos. The one who enforces rules earns respect. The employee who's always available is overlooked. The one who sets time boundaries is valued as professional. The friend who gives rides, money, and time endlessly becomes background noise. The one who gives selectively becomes memorable. Relationships. A partner who gives affection endlessly loses mystery and attraction. A partner who maintains standards, who gives love but demands respect, commands loyalty. Social media. Creators who post endlessly without boundaries become noise. Those who pace their content, who hold back, who create anticipation, command attention. Here's how to stop destroying your value with endless giving and start building it with boundaries. Say no without guilt. Each refusal increases respect. Limit your availability. Don't be accessible 24/7. Scarcity creates demand. Control your generosity. Give rarely and strategically, not endlessly. Stop explaining your boundaries. Limits don't require justification. Give time strategically. Spend it on those who respect it, not those who drain it. Create absence deliberately. Step back at times so your return feels powerful. Protect your energy. Your value depends on what you withhold, not just what you give. Set emotional limits. Don't allow guilt to control you. Reward loyalty. Save your kindness for those who prove they deserve it. Cut off entitlement. If someone expects your giving, withdraw it. Practice selective silence. Don't always respond, make people wait. Treat yourself as luxury. Act like your time and kindness are rare, and others will believe it. When you stop endless giving and start enforcing boundaries. At work, people stop dumping tasks on you. They pause before asking because they know you're not endlessly available. Suddenly, your time is valued, and leadership sees you as someone with authority. In friendships, you stop being the free resource. You become the respected presence, the one whose attention feels like a gift. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. Love deepens, attraction reignites, because your affection is no longer a cheap constant. In parenting, your kids stop feeling entitled. They start respecting limits, learning discipline, and valuing effort. On social media, you stop being background noise. You become anticipated, admired, because scarcity creates power in the digital world too. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained and invisible. You start feeling powerful, magnetic, and in control, because you know your value is not in how much you give, but in how well you protect it. Boundaries build value. Endless giving destroys it. And once you understand that, you stop being disposable and start being unforgettable. Say this right now: I set boundaries. My value grows with respect. Type it in the comments, whisper it daily, because the day you stop endless giving is the day people finally start valuing you. 5. Silence earns respect. Too many words kill it. Stop right there. Do you believe people respect you more when you explain yourself endlessly? Do you think being liked comes from and filling every silence? Here's the ruthless truth. Silence earns respect. Too many words kill it. The moment you over-explain, you weaken your position. The moment you rush to fill silence, you hand away power. Think about it. At work, the employee who talks too much in meetings looks nervous, not confident. The one who speaks rarely, but with weight, commands attention. In friendships, the one who always babbles to fill space is dismissed. The one who listens carefully, then speaks briefly, is trusted. In relationships, the partner who argues endlessly sounds weak. The one who stays silent at the right moment creates tension and respect. On social media, creators who rant endlessly get skipped. The ones who drop sharp, concise messages get remembered. Too many words dilute respect. Silence sharpens it. Robert Greene revealed this with precision in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Words are like currency. The more you spend, the cheaper they become. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Actions in silence carry more weight than endless words. Here's the dark reality. The powerful are not the loudest. They are the most measured. Respect doesn't come from filling silence. It comes from mastering it. History. George Washington was known for his silence. He spoke rarely, but when he did, people listened as if it were law. Abraham Lincoln won debates not by talking endlessly, but by dropping surgical phrases that cut through noise. Mao Zedong often let others argue themselves into weakness before delivering short, decisive words. Business. Steve Jobs didn't waste words in pitches. His famous "one more thing" moments shook industries. Warren Buffett speaks rarely, writes one letter a year, and those words move markets. CEOs who ramble lose investor confidence. Those who use silence wisely command billions. Daily life. The student who stays quiet until the end of class, then drops a sharp insight, gets remembered. The neighbor who doesn't gossip is trusted more than the chatterbox. The colleague who listens first and talks later is respected over the one who fills every meeting with noise. Relationships. The partner who argues endlessly weakens attraction. The one who pauses, observes, and speaks little creates mystery and desire. Parents who scream endlessly lose authority. Parents who speak rarely but firmly command obedience. Social media. Tweets that are concise go viral. Videos that are sharp and surgical spread like fire. Creators who ramble, forgotten. Here's how to stop killing respect with too many words and start building power with silence. Count your words. Before speaking, ask, "Can I cut this in half?" Use pauses. Silence before a response makes your words land harder. Stop explaining every no. A boundary needs no justification. Practice listening more. The less you talk, the more people reveal. Never argue endlessly. One strong sentence, then silence, wins more than 100 rebuttals. Use mystery. Say less about your plans. let results speak. Master body language. Silence plus presence equals intimidation. Don't fill awkward gaps. Let others feel the tension. They'll respect you for not breaking. Respond slowly. Delay answers. Make people wait for your words. End strong. When you finish, stop. Silence makes words echo. Observe reactions. Silence forces others to reveal their true intentions. Value your voice like gold. The rarer it is, the more people pay attention. When you stop talking too much and start using silence as a weapon. At work, you stop sounding nervous and disposable. You start sounding like authority, because people wait for your words. In friendships, you stop being the chatterbox no one respects. You become the trusted presence whose opinion matters. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. You become mysterious, magnetic, because silence creates attraction. In leadership, you stop losing control in arguments. You start winning with calm presence, measured silence, and strategic words. On social media, you stop being scrolled past. You become memorable, because you say more with less. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained from oversharing. You feel strong, calm, untouchable, because your silence protects you while your words strike like lightning. Words are cheap, silence is priceless, and once you master it, respect follows you everywhere. Say this right now: my silence is power. My words are rare and respected. Type it in the comments, whisper it daily, because the day you stop wasting words is the day you start commanding respect. 6. Respect comes from standards, not pleasing. Stop right there. Do you believe people will respect you if you please them enough? Do you think bending over backwards to keep others happy makes you powerful? Here's the brutal truth. Respect doesn't come from pleasing. It comes from standards. The moment you set no standards, you lose respect. The moment you enforce them, you gain power. Think carefully. The employee who tries to please the boss by agreeing with everything is ignored. The one who sets high standards for their own work is respected. The friend who bends to every plan, never says no, always goes along. They're liked, but never respected. The partner who avoids conflict just to be easy to love loses attraction fast. Desire dies when standards vanish. The parent who tries to be a friend to their child instead of a guide raises kids who disrespect them. The social media creator who pleases the algorithm but has no unique voice is forgotten. Pleasing feels safe. Standards feel risky. But only standards build respect. Robert Greene nailed this in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 25, recreate yourself. Define your image with intention. Don't let others dictate it. Law 34, be royal in your own fashion. People treat you according to the standards you project. Law 46, never appear too perfect. Pleasing invites envy and disrespect. Standards create authority. The dark reality: people don't respect the one who pleases them. They respect the one who forces them to rise. History: Queen Elizabeth I refused to marry despite enormous pressure. Her standards kept her throne secure. Mahatma Gandhi set strict personal standards: discipline, simplicity, nonviolence. People followed because they respected his boundaries, not because he pleased them. Leaders who tried to please everyone, weak kings, indulgent rulers, were overthrown or forgotten. Business: Elon Musk sets brutal standards for Tesla and SpaceX. He's not liked for it, but he's respected for achieving the impossible. Steve Jobs demanded perfection. He didn't please his teams, he pushed them. That pressure created products that changed the world. Companies that lower standards to please customers collapse. Luxury brands that enforce standards thrive. Daily life. The teacher who tries to please students gets chaos. The teacher who sets firm standards earns lasting respect. The colleague who demands quality work gets resented at first, but remembered as reliable. The neighbor who sets boundaries around noise, respect, and space gets acknowledgement. The one who pleases everyone gets ignored. Relationships. The partner who avoids fights to please loses attraction. The one who sets standards, who says, "I don't tolerate this," commands respect and loyalty. Parents who enforce rules raise children who grow into adults that admire them. Parents who only please raise entitled kids. Social media. The creator who follows every trend is liked for a moment, then forgotten. The one who sets their own style, their own standards, commands loyal audiences. Here's how to stop pleasing and start building respect with standards. Define your non-negotiables. Know what you refuse to compromise on. Say no with confidence. Standards mean refusing what doesn't align. Demand quality from yourself first. Others mirror what you tolerate in yourself. Stop chasing agreement. Disagreement often earns more respect. Set boundaries early. Don't wait until people cross the line. Reward those who respect your standards. Loyalty grows where discipline lives. Be consistent with enforcement. Standards without consequences are illusions. Don't explain too much. Standards don't require approval. Elevate your circle. Surround yourself with those who respect your standards. Be willing to walk away. Pleasers stay. Powerful people leave when standards are broken. Balance warmth with firmness. Respect grows from authority, not constant sweetness. Recreate yourself as high value. Live as though your standards are law, and others will believe it. When you stop pleasing and start living by standards. At work, you stop being overlooked. You start being promoted, because leadership respects those who stand firm. In friendships, you stop being the pushover. You become the one people admire, even fear, because you hold the group to higher standards. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. Attraction deepens because standards create respect, and respect fuels desire. In parenting, you stop raising entitled kids. You raise children who admire your firmness and grow disciplined themselves. On social media, you stop fading as a trend chaser. You rise as an authority with a distinct voice. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained from pleasing. You feel strong, steady, untouchable, because you live by your own standards. Respect doesn't come from pleasing. It comes from standards. And when you set them, the world adjusts. Say this right now: I stop pleasing. I set standards. I earn respect. Type it in the comments. Whisper it daily. Because the day you stop pleasing is the day you start commanding power. 7. Scarcity creates power. Availability destroys it. Stop right there. Do you think being always available makes you loved, valued, or indispensable? Do you believe giving people unlimited access to you proves loyalty? Here's the brutal truth. Scarcity creates power. Availability destroys it. The more people can reach you anytime, the less they value you. The rarer your presence, the greater your respect. Think about it. The employee who's always at their boss's call. They're used, not promoted. The one who sets limits is valued. The friend who answers texts instantly every time. They're convenient, not respected. The partner who's always available to hang out, cancel plans, or forgive mistakes. They become predictable, boring, and attraction dies. The creator who posts 20 times a day. They become background noise. The one who posts strategically builds anticipation. The parent who's constantly at their child's side. The child doesn't grow independent, they grow entitled. Unlimited access destroys respect. Scarcity builds desire. Robert Greene revealed this mercilessly in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. When you are too present, you cheapen yourself. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Scarcity sharpens reputation. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Don't spread yourself thin. Power comes from strategic presence. Here's the dark reality. Your constant availability tells the world you have no value. Your strategic absence tells the world you are priceless. History. Julius Caesar carefully controlled his appearances in public. His rare presence stirred awe. Queen Elizabeth I kept suitors waiting for years, never fully available. Her scarcity increased her authority. Machiavelli wrote that power is preserved not by overexposure, but by strategic distance. Business. Apple doesn't flood the market. Limited releases make people line up overnight. Luxury brands thrive on scarcity. Limited editions create obsession. Startups that make their services too available for free collapse. Those that control access scale. Daily life. The teacher who gives every second of free time loses control. The one who is hard to access is respected. The neighbor who's always around becomes invisible. The one who appears rarely is noticed. The employee who works late every night is overlooked. The one who delivers results with limited availability is admired. Relationships. The partner who's always available loses attraction. The one who protects their time becomes magnetic. The friend who's always free is taken for granted. The one who's hard to book is admired. Social media. Creators who post endlessly burn out their audience. Those who create gaps, anticipation, and scarcity. They go viral. Here's how to stop destroying your power with availability and start building it with scarcity. Stop answering instantly. Delay responses. Make your time valuable. Be less predictable. Don't always show up. Scarcity creates intrigue. Schedule your presence. Be seen strategically, not constantly. Create anticipation. Hold back content, ideas, or actions for maximum impact. Withdraw occasionally. A short absence refreshes your value. Limit access. Don't let everyone reach you. Gate your time. Reward patience. Give more attention to those who respect your time. Protect your calendar. Overbooked equals powerless. Scarcity equals authority. Speak less. Appear less. When you do, it carries weight. Treat your presence as luxury. Others should feel it's rare. Build mystery. Don't explain every absence. Let others wonder. Focus on quality, not quantity. Scarce, sharp appearances command respect. When you stop being endlessly available and start using scarcity. At work, you stop being the go-to dumping ground. You start being respected as someone with value and boundaries. In friendships, you stop being background noise. You become the friend whose presence feels like a privilege. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted. You become magnetic again, because scarcity fuels attraction. In leadership, you stop burning out. You start commanding attention, because your presence feels rare and powerful. On social media, you stop being ignored. You become addictive, because scarcity drives demand. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained. You start feeling in control, valued, respected, because you finally made your time scarce, and therefore priceless. Scarcity creates power. Availability destroys it. Master this, and you'll never be ignored again. Say this right now: my presence is rare. My value is priceless. Type it in the comments. Repeat it daily, because the day you stop being endlessly available is the day you start being truly respected. 8. Respect the line between respect and fear. Cross it and you lose both. Stop right there. Do you believe the more people fear you, the more powerful you are? Do you think crossing the line into cruelty guarantees control? Here's the brutal truth: respect and fear can coexist. But if you push fear too far, you lose both. The leader who tips into cruelty creates rebellion. The parent who rules only by fear creates distance. The boss who intimidates endlessly breeds sabotage. Fear without respect destroys power. Think carefully. The boss who constantly yells may get short-term compliance. But behind his back, his team resents him and waits for him to fail. The parent who punishes harshly may get silence, not respect. Their kids follow rules out of terror, but stop loving them. The partner who uses intimidation to control may succeed at first, but soon loses loyalty, intimacy, and trust. Leaders in history who crossed into cruelty, tyrants, dictators, seemed untouchable until they were overthrown violently. Excessive fear destroys the foundation of power. Because true authority balances fear with respect. Robert Greene outlined this balance in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 17: keep others in suspended terror, but cultivate respect. A little fear enforces order, too much fear creates enemies. Law 45: preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Push people too hard, and they break. Law 47: do not go past the mark you aimed for. Excess destroys what you've built. Here's the ruthless reality: fear enforces boundaries. Respect sustains loyalty. Cross the line, and you lose both. History: Genghis Khan ruled by fear, but also gave laws and structure. His empire endured. Stalin crossed the line into paranoia and cruelty. He ruled in terror, but the system he built collapsed after him. Marcus Aurelius led with discipline and respect. His balance of firmness and fairness made him beloved. Business: Steve Jobs demanded excellence, even instilling fear. But he also inspired with vision. That balance built Apple. Travis Kalanick, Uber, crossed the line with toxic fear-driven leadership. He lost his position and the company's respect. Great companies enforce standards firmly, but they balance with recognition and fairness. Daily life: the teacher who rules only by fear gets quiet classrooms, but dead creativity. The teacher who balances firmness with respect raises students who admire and grow. The neighbor who threatens everyone creates enemies. The neighbor who enforces boundaries firmly but fairly earns respect. Relationships: the partner who manipulates through fear breeds resentment. The one who balances boundaries with love keeps loyalty. Parents who balance discipline with warmth raise strong, respectful children. Parents who rule only with fear raise rebels. Social media: creators who constantly shock or threaten lose long-term respect. Those who balance strong messages with value and fairness build loyal followings. Here's how to master the line between respect and fear. Enforce rules firmly, not cruelly. Consistency beats harshness. Reward as much as you punish. Fear without reward destroys loyalty. Control your temper. Rage crosses the line into cruelty. Balance firmness with fairness. Let people feel consequences, but also justice. Never humiliate publicly. Public shame turns respect into hatred. Limit punishments. Enough to correct behavior, not destroy. Recognize loyalty. People must feel respect alongside fear. Keep mystery. A little unpredictability enforces respect, without cruelty. Led by example. Standards are respected when you live them. Stay calm under pressure. Calm discipline inspires awe more than anger. Draw clear lines. Make it known where respect ends and rebellion begins. Leave room for dignity. Let people fear consequences but keep their pride. When you master this balance, at work, you stop being hated or ignored. You become the leader whose firmness earns compliance and whose fairness earns loyalty. In friendships, you stop being feared as toxic or avoided as weak. You become respected because your boundaries command seriousness. In relationships, you stop breeding resentment. You create a balance of attraction, loyalty, and respect. In parenting, you stop raising rebels or spoiled children. You raise disciplined adults who admire your strength. In leadership, you stop relying only on intimidation. You build long-term loyalty because fear enforces, but respect sustains. Inside yourself, you stop swinging between weakness and cruelty. You feel calm, centered, untouchable, because you master the balance. Respect and fear must walk together. Cross the line, and you lose both. Say this right now: I balance fear with respect. My power endures. Type it in the comments. Whisper it daily, because the day you master this balance is the day your power becomes unshakable. 9. Control your image ruthlessly. Likability without power is death. Stop right there. Do you believe being liked is enough to protect you? Do you think a good image without power guarantees success? Here's the ruthless truth. If people like you but don't respect your power, you are disposable. Likability without control is death. Your image shapes perception, and perception becomes reality. If you don't control it ruthlessly, others will control it for you. Think carefully. The nice colleague who everyone likes but nobody promotes. Why? Because they don't project authority. The friendly boss who's liked by employees, but can't enforce rules. Soon, the team collapses. The influencer who's loved for being relatable, but quickly replaced because they lack authority. The partner who's always likable, never challenging. They're warm, but attraction dies. Likability without power feels good short-term, but it kills you long-term. Robert Greene declared this mercilessly in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your image is power. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Build the persona you want others to respect, not just like. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like high value, and the world treats you that way. Here's the brutal reality. If your image screams likable but weak, that's how the world treats you. But if your image radiates power, mystery, and control, people bend to it. History. Napoleon carefully crafted his image as a military genius. Paintings, speeches, myths. Likeable or not, his image commanded power. Julius Caesar staged grand parades to control perception. He wasn't just liked, he was feared and admired. Machiavelli taught, it's better to be feared than loved. because fear sustains power where likability fails. Business. Steve Jobs wasn't liked by many employees, but his image as a visionary controlled the tech world. Elon Musk projects brilliance and ruthlessness, not likability, and dominates industries. CEOs who focus only on being likable lose investor confidence. Those who project power raise billions. Daily life. The student who tries to be the class clown is liked but ignored. The one who builds an image of authority becomes a leader. The neighbor who's always friendly is liked but not respected. The one who projects strength commands boundaries. The worker who's nice gets overlooked. The one who projects seriousness and power gets promoted. Relationships. The partner who's only likable but never sets standards is loved at first, then abandoned. The partner who projects self-respect, standards, and mystery keeps attraction alive. Social media. Influencers who only chase likability fade. Influencers who project power, authority, and respect build empires. Here's how to stop being just likable and start controlling your image ruthlessly. Define your brand. Decide how you want to be seen, powerful, not just friendly. Eliminate weak signals. Stop apologizing, over-explaining, or acting insecure. Control what you share. Mystery builds respect, oversharing kills it. Curate your appearance. Clothes, body language, tone, project authority. Speak with weight. Short, sharp sentences project power. Don't chase approval. Make people earn your attention. Reward respect, not just affection. Be selective with kindness. When it's rare, it's powerful. Set standards in public. Your reputation is built on what you tolerate. Master silence. Let people wonder what you're thinking. Protect your reputation. Defend it fiercely. Don't let gossip define you. Recreate yourself regularly. Upgrade your image so you're never stuck as just likable. When you control your image ruthlessly. At work, you stop being overlooked. You're no longer the nice guy. You become the professional whose image commands promotions. In friendships, you stop being the harmless helper. You become the respected anchor whose presence elevates the group. In relationships, you stop being predictable and weak. You become magnetic, admired, and respected because your standards project power. In leadership, you stop being ignored. Your image makes people listen, follow, and respect, even when they don't like you. On social media, you stop fading as background noise. You rise as an authority whose image builds trust and obsession. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained by chasing likability. You feel in control, unshakable, powerful, because you designed the image the world must respect. Likability without power is death. Control your image ruthlessly, and the world will obey it. Say this right now: I control my image. I choose respect over empty likability. Type it in the comments. Whisper it daily, because the day you master your image is the day you master your power. 10. Respect is earned in distance over familiarity breeds contempt. Stop right there. Do you believe closeness always builds respect? Do you think the more familiar you are, the more people value you? Here's the ruthless truth. Respect is earned in distance. Over familiarity breeds contempt. The more accessible, predictable, and casual you are, the faster people stop valuing you. Think about it. The boss who becomes one of the guys soon loses authority. Workers laugh behind his back. The teacher who tries to be everyone's buddy gets chaos instead of order. The friend who shares every secret, every detail, becomes boring. The partner who's always around, never leaving space, kills attraction. The neighbor who overshares becomes gossip, not respect. Familiarity feels warm, but too much familiarity kills power. Robert Greene called this out in the 48 Laws of Power. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Step back to grow value. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Familiarity gives away your weaknesses. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Distance and presence create authority. The dark reality. If you're always familiar, you're always ordinary. Distance transforms you into something greater. History. Monarchs and emperors rarely mingled with commoners. Their distance created awe. George Washington refused to overexpose himself. His restraint made him legendary. Machiavelli warned, the more familiar you appear, the less power you hold. Business. Luxury brands thrive because they're not familiar. They're rare, distant, and exclusive. CEOs who try to be overly casual with employees often lose authority. Those who keep distance command respect. Apple carefully controls information leaks. Mystery breeds obsession. Daily life. The colleague who overshares loses professionalism. The one who keeps some distance is respected. The student who tries to be best friends with the teacher is dismissed. The one who maintains respectful distance earns authority. The neighbor who's too casual loses privacy. The one who keeps polite distance earns admiration. Relationships. The partner who clings, overshares, and never gives space suffocates attraction. The partner who maintains mystery and independence fuels desire. Even in family, too much overfamiliarity can lead to disrespect. Boundaries protect respect. Social media. Creators who expose every detail of their lives fade quickly. Those who reveal selectively, holding back mystery, command long-term influence. Here's how to stop breeding contempt with overfamiliarity and start earning respect with distance. Limit your presence. Don't always be around, create space. Withhold some details. Mystery builds respect. Control your accessibility. Don't answer every message instantly. Use absence strategically. Step back to let your presence grow. Balance warmth with boundaries. Be kind, but not overly casual. Stop oversharing. Familiarity through too many secrets weakens you. Create scarcity. Appear less frequently, but with greater impact. Protect personal space. Distance builds authority in relationships and work. Speak less, reveal less. Hold back your full thoughts. Let others disappear occasionally to create longing. Preserve mystery online. Share highlights, not your entire life. Act royal. Carry yourself as if access to you is a privilege. When you stop over familiarity and start using distance. At work, you stop being dismissed as just another colleague. You become the professional whose presence commands respect. In friendships, you stop being the easy target for jokes. You become the one others admire and take seriously. In relationships, you stop suffocating attraction. You become magnetic again, because distance fuels desire. In leadership, you stop losing authority by being too familiar. You create the aura of someone above ordinary. On social media, you stop being forgotten as overexposed. You become addictive, because mystery keeps people watching. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained by constant exposure. You feel powerful, respected, untouchable, because you know distance protects value. Respect is born from distance. Overfamiliarity destroys it. Once you master this, you'll never be treated as ordinary again. Say this right now: I protect my power with distance. I never let over familiarity kill respect. Type it in the comments, whisper it daily, because the day you create distance is the day you create lasting respect. Listen carefully, because this is where it all comes together. You've just learned 10 ruthless lessons that cut through the biggest lie society tells you, that being liked is enough. It's not. Fear protects you. Boundaries build value. Silence commands respect. Standards elevate you. Scarcity fuels power. And distance keeps you untouchable. The moment you stop chasing approval and start commanding respect, everything changes. At work, people stop using you and start following you. In relationships, you stop being taken for granted and start being desired. Inside yourself, you stop feeling drained. You feel strong, magnetic, and in control. Now, here's your move. Hit that like button if this woke you up. Share this video so others break free from the trap of being liked. Comment below, I choose respect over approval. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next video will take you even deeper into Robert Greene's dark wisdom, and you don't want to miss it. Respect is not given, it's commanded. And today, you've taken the first step.